Good evening, everybody. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. Leslie, Greg, Happy and Don't. That's a good name, Happy and Don't. Green Apple, everybody, Kay, everyone out there, all the folks coming in for tonight's most popular show. Sorry we're a little bit late here. Better late than early. Better late than early, okay. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show, and it is late. It's not 11 o'clock, it's 11:25. Thank you for the gifts. We appreciate it. Scott Hammonds, April, thank you for the gifts. Cheek, everyone coming here. Scott, who knows? Everybody, Diane. Hey, Jen, good to have you with us. It'll be a great show tonight. And hey, April, good to see you. Good evening. Jan R., Scott Hammonds. Let's see who else we got here. Leonard, everybody, Realm, Chris, thank you for the likes. Helen, good to have you with us. Everybody out there who's coming in from all over the world. Our studios are vast. We have big studios here. Debbie, good to see you. Our seats are everywhere. You can have a seat anywhere you are, and it's a good seat in the house. Susan Mary, welcome. Cleo, good to see you. Betty Malden, Kit Kat, good to see you, Kit Kat. Half Pint, welcome. And you're in the cosmic spaceship of Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. For new people to the show, and I don't assume everybody's been here before, so I'm here again tonight for the first time. Every night's the first time. So I am a contactee from the 60s. Positive. Kerry, good to see you. Good evening. Susan Mary, good to see you. I'm a contact from the 60s with positive space contact. TMC, welcome. Everybody coming here. Betty, Marie, or Mary, Cassandra, I think Carissa. I'm looking at some of the names here. And I'm also the talk show host for 21 years on WESUFM.org of the Ashtar Command radio show, Cosmic Eye Radio, every Sunday morning, 11:31. Yep, absolutely. I also am with the Ashtar Command. I work in Christ Cosmic Consciousness, always. No matter where I am, who I am, or what I am, that's what I do. Good to have you with us. Joe, welcome to the show. Mary Jose. Josie, I think Mary Josie. Kyle, welcome Kyle. Everybody coming in here. Please share and like. We want to get to 100,000 likes tonight. Everybody follow, and as soon as you're coming in here, if you're not following our show, follow my profile. That's really important to do. And we're going to, hey, Scrubs USA, good to see you. We're going to send some stuff out here and see who is with us tonight, wherever they may be. It's a Friday evening. Thank goodness the week is over. You know, that's a good thing. Hey, Patty, Maurice, thank you for the follow. Jessica, welcome. Everyone in here, I think it's Dahid. Karen Morgan, welcome. Everybody coming here. Mary, Josie, thanks for the share. Hey, Myrna, good to see you. And Juan, thank you for the likes. Helen, thank you. Happy Blessed Friday to you and everyone. Debbie Snow. It's going to be a nice weekend this weekend, wherever you are. Regardless of the weather, it's what's within that's important, you know. Dave, welcome to the show. Guy, welcome to the show. Sassy Cassie, I like that. Betty, thanks for joining us. Jessica, thanks for the likes. And Jay, everyone coming in here, let's amp it up. Invite people that you think should be watching the show. Hey, Tara, good to see you. Howdy back to you. Mary Weather, good to see you. Danny, good evening. I'm just trying to catch all the names here. Cleo. Okay, Cleo. Let's see. Grandma W, welcome. Thanks for the share. And welcome everybody to Encounters. Hey, Monica Dorset, good to see you. And if I don't mention your name, I do see everybody coming here. A galactic communal hello to everybody out there. And we're going to have a great show tonight. We don't know who's going to be here in terms of guest interviews. It's a very spontaneous thing with Encounters. It has been from the get-go. I bet they're programming the show because they programmed everything. Who's programming the show? John Pohl. I bet you they're programming the show. Who's programming the show? Phil's AV Archives. The Face Coast of Florida. Good to see you, Phil. Let's see here. Hey, Papa Smurf. Larry Aaron White Jr. Acid TV. My day was good. It's even better that the week is over. Danny, thanks for joining us. Chuck B. Charlotte, thanks for the likes. Jennifer, thank you for the roses. Always. We appreciate that very much. Just to make a point, my apologies. Okay. Lupita, hello. Karen Stevenson, hello. And everyone coming in here, Bruce Spear, Andrew Sims, Sunshine. Hey, Sunshine. Sweet Tea, good to see you, Sweet Tea. Sun Love, welcome to the show. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Austin, Texas, welcome. Austin, Texas is probably in Austin, Texas. So welcome, Austin, Texas. Paul, Jane, George, everybody out there. I've seen an object in the northeast sky over towards the Space Center last night. We are going to have you on the show. You'll be our first guest tonight. And Phil's AV Archives. Phil's going to be our first guest in a few minutes. And that's interesting. We want to hear about that story. And the way we do it, folks, here, just in case you don't know and you're new to the show, this is an actual talk show. We're not like any other social media thing here. I'm a professional talk show host, which is my trade. But the good thing is, not only am I a UFO talk show host, I'm a contactee. You know, a lot of UFO talk show hosts on YouTube or wherever they are, on those big YouTube channels that they have with the big fancy studios, you know, they have all the fancy studios, but they don't have the background of being a contactee. It's the truth. Being a contactee gives me more leverage because I've had experiences. I can relate to people who are being contacted by space people. I can relate to people, even though I've never been abducted and never will be. I can listen to your story, and I can help people that have had those experiences, people that have seen mer people, fairies, Bigfoot, or what you call Sasquatch. So we get into a lot of these things here because they are real, and people are realizing now that there's more to things than just human beings walking in New York City or San Francisco or France on the streets having coffee. A lot more going on there, right? A lot more. So we're going to bring Phil up in a minute here. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Catching up with hey, bird lovers, Diane, good to see you. Seattle, Washington, good to see you up there in the Pacific Northwest. Hey, Matt Noble. Matt Noble had contact the third time. Matt, you're going to be our second guest. So again, you have to be over 18. No kids on the screen, no smoking, no drinking, no vaping, no drugs, no drinking, no being drunk. Let's see what else. No paranormal discussion, no politics. Let's see, no religious discussion. I mean, you know, not coming here trying to get people to become a specific religion. Hey, Suzanne, good to see you here. You know, those are the basic rules of the show. And again, no trolls. We'll take care of the trolls if they come in here. We normally don't have any problems. And if you're a person that's negative, we will definitely take you out and kick you into outer space. Right here in Encounters. I will personally have the privilege. So when someone comes in here to try to troll us or do something really not too smart, the commander will be at the controls of the spaceship and you will be knocked out into the outer universe to never come back. Also, just to let you know, speaking of the universe, on a really beautiful thing, our space family watches this show every night. Did you know, some of you do know who've been watching my show, that my father, my mother, my brother and sister, two sisters, watch the show with other people on the spaceship? Did you know that? Right now, they're watching this show. And when I get word of what's happened, usually they'll say, oh, Commander, or something. They're watching the show. Just trust me on this, will you? Daniel, good to have you with us. And everybody in here, Mariner AM, welcome. Let's see here. So we're going to get to Amanda says, wish I could share my story, but I'm always at work or under the weather. So Amanda, are you at work right now, or are you just under the weather? If you're not under the weather, not at work, you'll be a guest on the show. Well, good to see you. Hey, KT. Greetings. Let's see here. I'm just trying to catch her. Jay, welcome to our show. Let's amp it up here. 272727, welcome to the show. Let's see here. Hey, CK, Amanda, we connect, yes. Terry, 1970, Terry, 1972. Hey, good to see you. Helen, good to see you. I'm just trying to acknowledge people here. Yeah, it's us watching, it's like us watching Star Trek. Yeah, Corey, that would be correct. So my space family, to answer your question, is watching the show right now. Hey, Half Pint. Kristen Woods, thanks for joining us. Abducted in 1977. Albert, you'll be our third guest, Albert. I want to bring up the first person here. I got to go backwards to Phil. Let me see if I can find Phil here. Once I see Phil's name, I'm going to bring Phil up first. Our first guest for the night. And again, when you share in comments what happened to you, if you're a contactee, tell me if you're having physical contact with space people that are positive. Let me know. You might be the fourth or fifth guest. Let me see here. Where's Phil? Here he is, right here. Hey, Phil, we're going to bring you up. We're going to bring you up on the show. You're our first guest, as I promised. Phil's AV archives. I've seen an object in northeast sky over towards the Space Center last night. I hope you're still here with us, Phil. I'd love to do an interview with you tonight on the show. We'll see what happens. You're watching Encounters. We're very, like I said, spontaneous. Based on what I hear, if people tell me in senses what's going on, that gives me an idea whether I should bring them up or what to say. Okay, someone says here, Maurice Moe says, we saw a UFO Michigan in the 1970s. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Phil's, hey Phil, if you're out there in Florida, please join us. I just invited you, Phil, to join us and come up and tell about what happened near the Space Center last night. Speaking of things happening, Cruz Perez, are most people abducted by human governments? Let's put it this way. For 70 years, the secret government of the world have allowed for, and the U.S. specifically have allowed for, negative ETs had allowed them to abduct people, but that's being stopped now. So there's less and less. If there is abductions happening, it's extremely remote. But yes, the government was involved with certain negative ETs for technology to definitely get involved and abduct humans. That would be actually true. And let's see, if Phil's not coming up, we're going to go back to Matt Noble. Let's see, Matt Noble. I will go backwards. And we'll get Matt Noble up here to tell their story out in the Pacific Northwest. Matt Noble, let's see. Let's see. Albert Candela, abducted in 1977. Let's see, I'm going to get Matt Noble here. I got to go backwards. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right person. We're going backwards, reading all the comments. I thought, and I could be completely wrong about the person. Contact of the third kind. Here we go. Matt Noble is our guest. Matt Noble, contact of the third kind. I just sent Matt a request spontaneously to join us on Encounters, the #1 spiritual UFO talk show. We'll see. Good. Matt Noble is joining us.
Hello?
Good evening, Matt Noble. How are you doing? Good to see
Hey,
you.
how are you doing?
Good, good. I always read comments when people tell me their stories in comments. So can you tell
Right.
us a little bit about your background and when you say
Oh,
contact of the
sure.
third kind, I think our audience would love to hear
Um,
about what you went through.
well, I was in a little town in Pacific Northwest called Bonnie Lake, Washington State. It's in a little town called Pierce County up in the corner there by Seattle, a little bit lower than Seattle. I was out on a walk at nighttime in a old logging road and behind my house, and there's houses around, there's people around. But I was in a green belt. So I was walking home and it was getting dark and I stopped. I was tired and I was coming up on this trail. So I sat down and I made a little moment, a little fire so I could get
Hmm.
warm before I got home. And I was about 2,000 feet from my back door going out of this
Oh my
green
God.
belt out of this old logging road. And all of a sudden I blacked out. All I saw squares and circles. And all of a sudden I woke back up at the front of the trail about 20 or 30 feet back onto the main logging road. And it's at
Hmm.
nighttime. And I look straight up and I can see the constellation of Orion. And then I look over towards the tree line and there's the ship. Boom, boom, boom. And it's got four propulsions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's black. It's cloaked like a Star Trek thing. And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I'm kind of dizzy, and I'm kind of standing there, and I don't know how I'm standing up. And
Right.
I look over, and I'm missing time. I'm missing time the whole about 20 minutes, and a certain amount of feet too. And I look up, and it's dark, and this blue hybrid Chinese looking entity comes flying at me, and he almost
Oh
looks
my
like an
God.
insectoid, a reptilian, but he shares the same features as a gray or a zeta, like you say,
Yeah.
and he's got a face, he's got hands, he's got three fingers, and he's got glow through blue skin, and I could see into his bones, and it's like a
Oh my
jelly,
God.
but he's alive, and it looks like a projection. So that's what the entity looked like, the alien. I'm assuming it's a hybrid, but then I look at him, and he looks at me, and he charges me just. But he's floating above the ground. You can see his feet
Yeah.
kind of floating, and he just rushes me, and then all of a sudden he uncloaks and he's bright blue, like a beautiful like ocean blue, like the sky blue, and
Really?
I can't believe this, I don't understand how I'm standing up where I was sitting down literally 20 minutes ago. I have no idea how I got there, and I'm freaking out, and I'm in a logging road near a tree farm in this little town called Bonnie Lake, Washington State,
Oh my
and
gosh.
it's out in the woods, by Mount Rainier. So I'm looking at, and I look back up at the craft, and it's about 200 feet off the main path, over next to the trees. And I'm thinking it's a McCord Air Force Base re-engineered plane or something, but because it was
Right.
flat and it was silent, no noise, but you could see the engines moving in a particular order. And then I
Yeah.
look back down, and the first thing I did is I paused and I go, "This isn't real." And I turn around and I ran home as fast as I can. I didn't even look back. And I hauled butt, and I got back to my house, and I was thinking, did that happen? Am I okay? I mean, because I mean, he had his hand up like he was saying hello, and it was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, man. I mean, it was scary, and I've been trying to figure it out ever since. And I remember it, and I go through it, and I go through it over again, and try to catch on to this pattern. But it could have been a man-made thing. I mean, it could have been a hologram. It could have been a ghost, AI. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't think it was a ghost. No, no, you
It was
definitely
wild.
your mind's going to play all kinds of different games on you to try to divert you from to
Yeah.
realize what it
Yes,
was.
sir.
So so when you have something like that happen, first of
It
all,
really happened. It
that
was there.
then the space
I couldn't
being
believe it.
appears in its true form. It like totally uncloaked into a solid body.
Yep.
Correct?
Boom.
And
Right there. Bang. Just like that.
when it
Yeah.
was in the
It was
solid
like,
body, Matt, can you tell me at the solid point of its body,
right.
what it looked like?
Bones.
Like
I
if it
could see
was,
bones. I could see his bones and his rib cage, and then the skin got thicker as it went up, and he had these little like whiskers, these little tiny thorns coming off the top of his head at certain angles of his body, on his cheekbone, on his eyebrows, on his shoulders, like little tiny little spurs coming off of his body, and he had three fingers, and I didn't know if he was going to try to grab me or if he was saying hello. He looked evil. He looked very, very demonically evil,
oh, that's not
but
good.
he was glowing. He was glowing
Right.
like he had this mist coming off him,
Well, it's
and it
probably
was just
it was probably Again, if and
Bright
I gotta
blue.
go. You know, so bright blue. But if his look was evil, do you think what were you getting besides the look of the being? Did you
He
feel
was
any
he charged at me like I
charged
had
at you?
woke up, like he had maybe dropped me off from the ship because I was missing time. Because where
Yeah.
I sat down, all of a sudden I felt something grab me from behind, and then I woke up standing up at 20 feet down the trail,
Oh my
probably
God.
20 or 30 minutes later at least, because my instinct
Okay.
tells me that, you know.
You were
Yeah, it
probably,
was scary.
again, if you had missing time, and it
Yep.
doesn't sound like a good experience. I don't care what the color of the ET
Right.
skin is. If their intent
Right.
was to abduct you, you were probably
Yeah.
already abducted. You were taken
Yep.
off the ship and left on the road. Then that other
Yep.
being came towards you really fast, which was part of the
Yes.
whole group that abducted you on that dark
Two
ship.
aliens. Yeah.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
you
two
say
different
two of them.
situations there. Yeah.
So tell
Yeah, I
me,
don't
were they
know. I
both look?
mean,
Well, let me ask you, Matt. Were both of the ETs? Did they both look the same, or were they both different?
I got a different feeling that maybe a different alien was on the ship, but that than this alien, because this one looked so human. It had the bones, it had the features, but his fingers, he had three fingers, and his middle finger was like a foot long. I mean, I couldn't believe how long his fingers were, and it was like he was crunched together, and he was using this energy to propel himself. And I looked at his
Right.
eyes, and he had a flat bone face that was the
Mm-hmm.
same, that was like the outer egg type of shape to a
Right.
gray alien.
Right.
But I got the different idea that the grays might be up there because those were
Right.
the typical ones that would kidnap, you know.
Well, it sounds like he or it was a Zeta from the Zeta Reticuli system, and the Zeta Reticuli
Right.
system is big enough where there are different types of Zeta. There are no aliens, but the Zeta
Right.
Reticuli system, there are short Zeta, there are tall Zeta, they're all in different shapes.
Oh, right.
So I'd like to do something here from
I was
your
thinking it's a
experience.
portal there because there was a crater crash out there like 100 years ago, back in the old West times, when this was an old logging area. And so I was thinking that it might be a portal there because that crater, people go out there and they study it. So and this was the ship was right in the area where the crater was,
Do
because you
you
could
know?
see the ship, and I could see the guy. I mean, I don't know if he was a man or not, but he resembled an Asian human, because I think the area was bought up by some Asian land developers from over in Japan. Like, they bought all this acreage. And the weird thing about this too is that where the ship was on the tree line, or right on the road, the logging road, there's a housing development there with a cell phone tower almost 10 feet from where the ship was. I'm not even
Well,
kidding.
well, do you know
Years
Mount
later, they
Rainier?
put it up.
Do you know that Mount Rainier has a history from the
Yep.
1950s of UFO
Oh yes,
sightings?
yes, sir.
And
That's
it,
why I'm thinking it's so interesting there. You know.
but I'm not saying that spaceship comes from that area, but yeah,
No,
there's
no, right, right.
definitely there could be a different group. There's another group of ETs that have a base in
Yeah.
Mount Rainier. Now I'm not saying it's that group
Yep.
that went after you and abducted you,
Right.
but I've known about
Like a
Mount
hybrid.
Rainier. Well, I've known about Mount Rainier. I'm not even saying hybrid. There's a base that
Oh,
exists in Mount Rainier. I'm not even saying hybrid, but they're Mount
oh,
Shasta,
like an
Mount
underground.
Rainier.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, there's actually, and they're not the same ETs as the ones that were abducting you when you had missing
Right,
time.
right.
You just happen
Yes,
to
right.
be in a situation where you were taken. So I'd like to do something here that I think is
They
really
must
going
have
to.
picked up on me on my way home or something. I don't know. I think what happened is when I started the little fire to keep my hands warm on the side of the logging road, I picked up some twigs and just lit a little fire right there. I think maybe they were coming across the galaxy and they just picked up on it, and then that's when they took me right there, because I blacked out. All of a sudden, I saw pixels like on a TV, like computer pixels, all over the trail, and then all of a sudden everything stopped, and then that's when I woke up, and I'm just missing time at the end of the trail, and that's when he rushed me. He just ran up on me, and I looked up, and I could see the ship on the tree line, because I mean, you can't miss it. You can see these white flashes going in a circular motion, and that's when he rushed me, and that's when I had the contact, because I mean, it was right. Then I go, that's an alien, and that's his ship, and I'm out of here. I couldn't. I don't know how long I'd been gone. It seemed
Well,
about 20 minutes.
It's good
You
that you were
know.
able to get out of there.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
scared. I ran
so let me just say
ran home.
something. I'm going to
Oh,
help you
sorry,
out
sorry.
here. No, no, I want to help you out here, man, because I think we need to just really focus a little bit on how he rushed you. Um,
Yeah,
that
yeah, it
whole
was
thing. So
fast.
I want to do something with your consciousness because I know this is bothering you for a long time. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
I've been trying to figure it out. Yeah, it's just
Okay, well,
wild.
here we're going to do something better than figure it out. We're going to actually get rid of the stuff that's keeping you from having peace within from that experience. I mean, let's face
Right,
it, if I were there or anyone else was there, we might have the same reaction if we were in your shoes. We probably
right.
would have the same reaction, but the commander's going to do something right now. We're going to switch consciousness. Okay, and if you watch my show, I do this. So I'm going to go into a much higher state. I mean, not that I'm not in a higher state now, but I'm going to go into another state of
Right.
consciousness on this show tonight for you. And I'm going to do this
Okay.
right now for you because I think it needs to be done because you're definitely still
Right.
shaken up. When you tell that story, I know
Oh
in your
yeah,
energy
it's
you're still shaken up from that
yeah.
from that night. You are.
Yeah, I could feel him. I can like feel his energy. It was like
Yeah.
it was just like he just fills you with electricity. It was like it was electric, man. I mean, I couldn't believe
Yeah.
it. It was like an energy and like a nuclear energy just entering your mind. And it's just like,
Yeah.
wow, my hair
So
on my neck stood straight up when I saw him.
well, they're still somewhat controlling you because they messed up your consciousness. So I'm going to help you out here. If
Right.
you watched my show before, I want to do something. If you let me do it, I'm going to clear your consciousness of all the stuff that this ET and this group
Meditate.
of beings did to you out there near Mount Rainier,
Right.
Washington. All right. So I'm
Right.
going to
Right.
actually do
Yep.
something right now. If you let me do it, would you like me to help you?
So just kind of meditate, just kind of relax and
I'm
meditate
not just
about it.
well, I'm not going to do just that. I'm going to do something more than just meditate
Oh,
and do. And I want you to close your eyes. I'm
okay.
switching right
Okay.
now in a
Closed.
nanosecond. No rituals here. I'm going into Astro Command mode. So what we're going to do is close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath. I want
Okay.
you to breathe in and breathe
Deep
out. So I want you to
breath
breathe out and breathe out of your nose. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe
in your
in.
nose.
Yeah. So you're going to breathe in through your
In
mouth and breathe out through your nose. You're going to release through your
and the
nostrils. Breathe in
nose.
through your mouth. Right. And do this a couple of times. I want you to do it
Okay.
until you actually are mentally and physically relaxed.
Yep.
I want to
Yep.
get your mind
Eyes are
totally
closed
relaxed,
and
right?
breathing.
Okay. I want you to breathe in and breathe out until I see that you're actually totally calm. You got to calm your brain down a little bit here, but we're going to help you.
Right. Right. Yeah. Right.
Okay. How do you feel?
Much calmer. Yes, sir. Much better.
Okay. I want you to keep your eyes closed. Don't open them. I want you to turn your brain off right now. And if I close my eyes, folks, it's not because I'm falling asleep. I'm going to be doing something here. All right. I'll begin. I'm going to amp up the energies through my arm into the palm of my hands. I'm totally activated now, so I'm ready to do what I'm going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to work on your consciousness through your brain area. That's what I'm going to do. I'm doing this myself. And again, I give thanks to my father for activating me to help people on the ship. In a moment, you're going to feel some energy around your forehead, around your head, like a warmth of energy. When you feel it, please let me know.
Yep. Yep. Feeling much more lighter.
Yes. Keep your eyes closed, please. For people watching this show, I am with the Ashtar Command. I am here on Mission Earth, and I'm now operating in Ashtar Command mode to help him. I'm going to work on your consciousness. I'm going to clear the energy of stuff they did to you when they abducted you. And what we clear out, we're going to give back to the Creator. We're not holding on to anything here. So if I go like this, that means I'm giving it back to the Creator. It will dissolve and disappear into nothingness. My main area of work is your brain. That's what they played around with your mental condition of your brain. I'm working on that right now. When I get done doing this, you'll not be thinking about what happened anymore. You'll be able to be opening up to a more positive experience in life. And folks who are watching this, sometimes it takes time to do what I'm doing here. Depending on how the person was abducted, it takes time. So what you're watching me do with my palm of my hands is exactly working on him remotely here. I'm able to do this remotely no matter where you are in the world. I'm able to do this. And we're calming his energy down in the brain area. And if you stay focused on the show, folks, you'll see what I'm doing. I'm amping up the heat energy through the palm of my hand. And we're going to penetrate, I'm going to penetrate into every cell of the brain to clear out whatever they did, these ETs did to him. We're clearing the energy through the whole cellular structure. I'm clearing it all throughout his body. I'm using the palm of my hands to clear everything. And after they got abducting him, they left him on the side of the road. We're clearing all the energy. I'm amping up the energy even higher. I'm going to really amp it up now. Depending on what happens to a person, I have to do this in order to clear the energy. His brain is going to be, I'm kind of reconnecting the brain area to be clear of all of what happened to him, so he may have more positive experiences in the future. And again, I'm doing this remotely. Anyone who's watched my show for a year and even currently knows that what I'm doing is real, and I can do this. When we're finished, he'll be able to talk more calmly. He'll be able to talk slowly and not have to rush his words. The reason why he was talking so quick is because he was still living in the experience. He will not have the experience, and we have to relive it anymore in his consciousness. And I know my family on the ship is watching the show on their monitors. They're watching what I'm doing here. I send my love to my family on the ship. And now I'm going to put a protection around him. I'm amping up a different energy through the palm of my hands remotely. I'm putting an energy field around his body that will be with him permanently. It's an invisible protection field, and nothing will come to him that is not of the light force. Also, in his home environment, I'm going to do a clearing of energy around his physical home. I'm going to also do some energy work with the palm of my hands and sending all the energy back up to the Creator. After I do a clearing of his rooms with my palm of my hands, that's what I'm doing. And my hands are amped up really, really hot right now. So we're going to clear all the energy out of his home. I'm going to clear all the energy and do a clearing and give it back up to the Creator. So everything back up to the Creator, and it will dissolve into nothingness. Wow. My palm of my hands, the energy is like really intense. So I'm doing a big clearing through the back of his head, all the way, all over his body, on the outer parts of the body. We're doing it, amping up everything. In a moment, we'll be finished. Okay. He will no longer think about the experience anymore. It'll be a past memory. He will now be able to move forward without being afraid. He'll now be able to move forward in light and in love. I put a protection shield around him. Matt, you may now open your eyes, brother.
Thank you. Very helpful.
Time. Yes. What I did for you, Matt, is a gift for you. I actually cleared all the energy out from your mind. They basically had made sure you had to keep thinking about them. You no longer will have to do that anymore. What I've done to you is I reconfigured your brain area of your cellular structure, and you'll be able now to move forward. And in Christ consciousness and cosmic Christed consciousness, what that is I've translated or transmuted the negative energy they put in your consciousness out, and you're now being uplifted. I've actually activated your Christ consciousness, so to speak, which every person has. So you are now healed of that experience. They'll never be able to see you again. And if you ever have an experience, it's going to be with your star family at some point in the future. Now you can be clear and you can walk in strength. I want you to say these words because these words are so important when I do this kind of work. I want you to say it as you feel it and understand no longer you'll be having to rush and talk with your words. You now can feel calm because there's no one behind you. There's nobody rushing after you anymore. You're now a free human being. You're free of the experience, and you're free to be spiritually in your light that you should be in. So I want you to say these words, Matt. I am a cosmic Christed being of light.
Jesus is my Christ consciousness of light.
And I want you to say, I am a Christed being of light.
I'm in Christ in being with light.
Nope, we'll put it this way. So I'm going to say it slowly. I am a Christed being of light. Bravo, you got it.
You.
All right. No, thank you.
God.
So now that you said that,
thank you.
Now you said that, brother, you're now free of all that negative ET stuff. They're never going to come back to you. I put a protection field around you that no one will be able to see. You are totally protected. So they might be aware of what I did, but I'm sending energy out into the ethers from the palm of my hand. They will never come back. They'll never come back. You're now definitely in a much better space.
It was scary.
Okay.
It was very scary.
I know it was. And you're talking more calmly now because you know what? I freed you of
Yes,
that
sir.
thought. They wanted to keep that thought
Thank you.
attached to you. No longer. You're free, man. You're totally free.
God bless you. Thank you.
I want to thank you, Matt, for coming up here. And that's what I do here. I help people.
Thank
I
you.
don't just talk the talk. I walk the walk every day. All right,
Yes,
we're going to
sir.
let you go down and let you listen to the show.
Thank you,
Watch it.
sir.
You
I
have a lot
will.
of friends
Thank
here.
you.
Many blessings to you,
Thank you
brother.
guys so much. I couldn't believe it. It really happened. I couldn't believe it. I thought I was crazy. I really did.
No.
But I
Well,
saw
now
it
you
with my own 2 eyes.
but now you're better, right? Now you're
Yes,
gonna go
sir.
past that. Just allow yourself to go
Thank you.
past that, brother. All right?
So very calm now. Yes, sir.
And when you go dreaming tonight, you're gonna have beautiful cosmic dreams.
Thank you.
All right, brother. We'll let you
Have a
down
good
here.
night. God
You
bless.
too.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Matt. And Matt was on my show here. This is what I do. I don't just talk about things. I walk the walk. I don't just talk the talk cosmically. I walk the walk every day. If I don't walk the walk, then I'd be a hypocrite. But I'm not, because I do what I say I'm going to do. I come from a place of light where before I came to Earth, I was on a spaceship. Edward, thank you. Monica, thank you. Folks who've been watching me know what I do. New people are seeing it for the first time. Everything I do is unconditional. There's no ego. If somebody needs help, I am going to help them, because that's what I do. I don't even think about it. Suzanne, thank you for the hat. Tar. Give me a moment. So this is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm CmdrAleon. If you'd like to be a guest, if you've had contact with space people, if you've had contact with the mer people, if you have contact with fairies or Bigfoot, we want to hear from you. We want to know about your story. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you and hear what you have to say. And yeah, I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful to have this show. I'm grateful to know everybody I know and all the new people that I'm getting to know. Brandon Macy says, I think, Brandon, you're saying you saw a triangle and a circle aircraft. And Chris, you had a UFO sighting in Long Island. I saw your video. It was really good. Chris, my friend Chris, had a sighting in Long Island. I watched the video the other day. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm just looking at the comments here. Blumet Technology says, I've seen the triangle crafts too. My C5 is in Connecticut. It's going to be September 14th, next Saturday night. I have a email video on my main page here on TikTok. I do have a video which has my email, and if you email me and you're interested in joining our C5 Ashtar Command contact program, it's next Saturday. We're going to be broadcasting it around the world on TikTok on my Encounter show. And we're also going to be doing a C5 on the water. We're going to be on the Connecticut side of the Long Island Sound, everybody. So if you're in the New England region, get in touch with us. So Michael, it will be next Saturday night in Madison, Connecticut. If you go on my main page after the show, you'll see a short video promoting it, and my email address will be on the video. I don't know if it was man-made or not, but definitely don't even worry about it anymore. Matt, don't even worry about it, what it was or where it could have been. You're going to move forward from here on. Don't even think about it anymore. It's not worth it. Robert says, I truly believe in UFOs. I watched a lot of Cosmic Disclosure. Stepping Good, hello? Let me see here. Rosa, hello? Are you going live on location next Saturday? Yes, Jennifer, we're going to do it live. Last one we did a long time ago was live. We're going to do that one live too. So we are planning to go live. And let me see here. So who here, we have 255 wonderful people all over the world. Are there any people here who've had contact? Anybody out here? I know some people haven't. You'll eventually have your visitations or whatever down the road. But who here, who's never been on the show live, has had contact? Anybody? Who's having contact? See, a stepping good, almost. Nature's Whispers, we had Nature on yesterday. Cuddy says visited. Define contact. So I'm going to define contact. It's when you have a physical visitation of a star person from another world. They come to you physically in a peaceful way. So the contact would be peaceful. It's not something that you're dreaming about. It's something that physically is happening to you, where you're physically being contacted. So let's say, for example, I come to you're in a farm field or something, and I come with my ship and land it, and I come out of the ship and I meet you face to face as a human being. That would be what I call physical contact. All right, physical contact. Because there was 3 kinds of contact in the 90s. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm interested in finding out. I like to mix it up a little bit. Shayna, good to see you. Good evening. So I'd like to figure out who is that. 247 people. I know right now that there's a few of you out there watching this that are being contacted by people from another planet. So who wants to come forward? Don't be afraid. I'm a contactee. I had my first contact in the 60s when I was a kid with space people that were in a flying saucer in a cul-de-sac that were men, women, and young adults that were wearing light blue outfits, and they were beautiful people. That was my experience when I was a kid. You know, so I know there are people out there having those experiences. I'm just trying to figure out who out here is having those experiences. Vanessa, namaste. Gloom technology from a distance. I had and saw a creature back in the 90s in Massachusetts. It was terrifying. I was 6 or so. That doesn't sound too good, Tiffany. Annie, welcome to the show. Could you please explain your job as a commander from Ashtar? Yes, Casey, I can definitely do that. I'd be happy to. So my job, which is when I came here on a mission to Earth. I volunteered to be here. You know, I mean, sometimes I'll say to myself as I got older, why did I do the volunteer work to come here? But I'm actually happy to be here. You know, the planet Earth needs help, and we came here to do that. So the word commander, my job as a commander is first of all, I'm in spiritually command of my own being. So I define commander way differently than the Earth-based definition of commander. I'm in command of my own being, and no one else commands my spiritual cosmic self except me. That's it, right? So I'm a commander of who I am. My mission job is actually varied. I am involved in communications. My main thing off planet was I was an intergalactic communicator on the ship. I'm also using Earth-based communications like TikTok, Facebook. I use these different things and YouTube to do the mission work. I've been on radio for 21 years doing Astro Command Radio, the only Astro Command Radio show internationally on FM radio and internationally on the internet. So I've been very dedicated to coming here and waking up to who I am to do the work that I'm doing. So hopefully that will help you a little bit, Casey, in terms of what I do. No, I'm saying that I'm from Mars originally. Mars is a planet with 10 to 15 million inhabitants. I come from the crisis levels of light. So I come from planetary worlds that are of light. I come from the Ashtar Command, which represents all the galactic levels of light and all the planets of light throughout the multiverse. So look at the Ashtar Command as a galactic United Nations, in a sense. So you have all these countries on Earth that are part of one group, Tahar. The Ashtar Command represents every planetary system of peace. I don't look of any. I don't even think of a type of one or two or three. There's no type of civilization. It's based on consciousness, not a type of type one or two. It's based on the elevation of frequency and consciousness, and we call that cosmic Christ consciousness. Yes, Mars actually is a very beautiful planet. It used to have problems. For millions and millions and millions of years ago, but the Martian population that inhabits the planet are alive and well. They are human, and they're very spiritual beings of light, and they have cities and waterways beneath the surface, and there's also some structures on various parts of Mars that are on the surface of the planet now. You're welcome, Casey. Cuddy, very good. You know, that's a great idea. So these are some of the things, and please tap on the screen. When you see the hearts and you're saying, where are those hearts coming from? That's from people that are tapping. If you look at the top right, I have 43,600 people liking the show. We want to get up to 100,000. That means if everybody taps and also share with people that you think should be watching the show that are awake right now around the world, share it with your cosmic friends, have them join us. K Ranger, good to see you. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. And we enjoyed K Ranger's story. It was great. Brock, welcome. California Poppy, welcome to the show. Everybody coming in here, welcome. And we want to send a lot of communal love around the world on encounters. We definitely love everybody, all the new people. I know we started at 11:25 tonight. Hey, Nicole, good to see you. Good to have you with us. Yeah, so I don't channel. For me, I don't channel at all. Actually, I don't channel anything. I just gave my half my story. Yes, K Ranger, very beautiful. K Ranger's story is, you can watch it on my Astro Command spaceship channel, on my YouTube channel. You can watch his interview with us. You'll find it there. And it was great. It was really great. And K Ranger is a former police officer, just a great human being, and really told a great story. You know, and you can tell your story too, folks. You know, if you're out there and you're having contact with space beings, we have 270 people all over the world right now. I know if you do the math, somebody out there is having positive contact. Now, I do talk about people having abductions, and I help those folks. I had an abduction in New Hampshire. Billy Buck, okay, so Billy, oh, you're in New England. I think we have to bring Billy up here. Here's how it works. Billy, you need to reset your setting and set it to public. If you would like to come up here, reset your setting to public. You have over 3,000 followers, but your setting's on private. And I might just want to interview you about your abduction. If you reset your setting, let me know and I'll bring you up here. Interesting. And let's see, 1973. So if you change your setting, Billy, I'll bring you up here and you can tell your story to the whole world on encounters. I guarantee it. Yeah, I'd love to bring you up here, man, to talk about your abduction experience. I'm pretty sure my audience would like to hear about it. Also, if anybody's had some positive things happening, please let me know. Like if you've had positive contact with star people, I'd love to know about it. Vic 818, we're doing well. Hope you're doing well and getting ready for the weekend. Yeah, so if you can switch your setting, Billy, we'll bring you up here on the show as a guest. That's what we do here, you see. We look at the comments when if someone tells me I was taken on a spaceship by beautiful people and I saw many beautiful things, I will put you on the show. That's what we do here. Telly, thank you for the heart me. We appreciate it. Whispering Soul, thank you for the follow. That's a beautiful name. Oh, there you go. Hey, Jersey for Life, good to see you. Billy, I think, is going to get his setting switched so I can bring him up here. Okay, let's see here. Ricardo A. Monty says, I saw a huge ship hovering on what? Ricardo, where was the ship hovering and when was the year of the ship that you saw hovering? You're welcome, Whispering Soul. Let's see here. Liz, thank you, Tar. So I do this thing randomly when I bring people up. I choose to do it randomly as host, so you don't know if I'm going to do it or not. But let's see here. Oh, Monty's on here from New Hampshire. We're going to bring Monty up here. Another New Englander, just to the north of us in beautiful New England. And hopefully the TikTok thing will stop spinning around here in a minute. I got to remember to drink my apple cider. It's cider season in New England. All right, come on, TikTok. Let's get this thing working here. We're going to get Monty up here. I don't know what's happening with TikTok. It could be a glitch. Yeah, this is cider season up here.
Glitch.
Oh, here we go.
Hello.
Hey, TikTok. Hey, finally, TikTok finally got it together. Can you? Do you have a Bluetooth on?
Hello.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I hear you perfect.
Okay, Monty. So welcome. You're in New Hampshire. It's nice to talk to you. This is CmdrAleon, the host of the show. Tell us a little about yourself and when you had the abduction experience.
Oh no, I wasn't abducted, but I did see something.
Oh, you weren't abducted. Okay. It's Billy was abducted. You weren't abducted. But Monty, tell us about you. We're going to bring Billy up, who was abducted in New Hampshire. But tell us about what you saw.
Okay, this happened like 2020. I was taking a piss, right, by a trash can, and I see a flash, like a bright flash, like a blue ball flash, right? Anyways, I look up, and I promise you, I bullshit you not. There's in the night sky,
we have to keep the language clean, though. That's the only thing. But go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead. You know the story. With TikTok, I gotta be careful with the language, okay? But go ahead.
Okay. All right. My bad. Anyways, there was, I promise you, there was like a perfect circle, and inside that circle, in the night sky, right? It was nighttime, so it's dark out. Well, anyways, in that circle, I could see perfect day, clouds, blue sky. I promise you, and all of a sudden, this like rocket type of thing like started coming out of it, but it didn't have no lights on. It wasn't like hovering. It wasn't moving. It wasn't doing nothing. No lights on, nothing. It was just like there, like I guess frozen or whatever. Like kind of like if you press pause on a TV or like
right.
whatever, you mean a DVD or whatever, right? It's just sitting there, and I heard myself tell myself, "What the, f is that?" And I'm well, obviously I'm still with in my hand, right? And I close my thing up, and I finally like snap out of it enough to grab my phone. I reach for my phone, I try to hurry up and unlock the phone real fast, but I'm scared. So I'm trying to like hurry up and I'm shaking. And finally, when I get the camera on, I look up real fast to see if it's still there. And right before I bring my phone up, it looked like let's say how like you get a vacuum and you suck something in, right? Um, it looked like that rocket thing, whatever it was. It looked like it got sucked into the sky and it was gone. It was gone so
So
fast.
basically, what you're talking about is possibly a portal.
Yeah,
You know what a portal? Do you know what a portal is? It's like an opening, and there's been stories of UFOs coming in. They go through a galactic opening in the sky, and then it closes up after it goes through.
yeah. That's what it definitely looked like.
Yeah, I understand what it was. Absolutely,
Yeah,
I know what you're trying to say. Well, that's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I was so freaked out, man, and everything started happening after my sister and my brother passed away, you know, and not just that, other little things too, and stuff. Some things I got on camera, and some things I saw, but yeah, man, I couldn't wait to tell my story for so long. It's hard for people to believe when like to other people when they see like you got no followers, no fan base, nobody to collaborate what you saw. They don't believe it. You know what I mean? So that's why I kind of like
Well,
try to hold my story
well,
back. You know what I mean?
well, I'm glad you came here because now everyone knows about your story. My show is one of the number one spiritual UFO shows on social media. I'm on radio talk show host on NPR Radio. So now you've had your time to share that little bit of what you had experienced with a lot of people. And so that definitely you're not alone in your story. Now you've had the chance to express it and show it. So we appreciate that.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me on.
Okay, Mo, I thank you for bringing your story. And we'll let you down here on Encounters.
I appreciate
And
it.
you're watching Encounters. I want to get the person in New Hampshire up on the show. Where is that person? Where's our New Hampshire person? We have to find them. We appreciate all the shares. Edward, David, thank you. Mo, for coming in here. Let's see if I can find the New Hampshire person. I'm going to have to go backwards. I'm going backwards. Thank you for Karen for the heart me. I'll find the New Hampshire person that was abducted. I know you're in my list here. And he was abducted, this person, and it was Billy Buckeye. Billy. We're going to find Billy here. Let's see, where is he? Here, I found him. Let me see. Okay, Billy, you have to change your setting. Your setting doesn't allow me to bring you up here. If Billy Buckeye is out there calling Billy Buckeye, this is CmdrAleon, please change your setting on your TikTok, and then we can bring you up here. Is Billy Buckeye here? Hey, Paranormal out there in the Philippines, good to see you. So what happened to Billy Buckeye? Is Billy Buckeye with us? And the beautiful part about the show is there are people that have experiences and they tell me their senses right out, what's happening. You're very welcome, Mo. I appreciate your story. Well, hopefully Billy Buckeye will come back. So we have almost 300 people here, which is not uncommon on my nighttime show. I want to get to some new people here too. Who else out here has had encounters? Not necessarily an abduction. Is there anybody who's having a positive contact as a contactee? Who's having positive contact? Anybody? Tar high vibes. Thank you. Richard Monty. So Richard says, I have. Richard, we're going to bring you up. Richard Monty, you're our next guest on Encounters. Salt water has updates. We'll have to get the salt water maybe tonight as well. Ricardo, welcome to the number one spiritual UFO talk show on social media. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. I'm glad to have you with us. Tell us where you are and tell us about your background and how it started.
I live here in in California, Marin County, kind of
Okay.
close to the coast side. There's a mountain behind my house here, Mount Burdell, and so I think it's pretty tall, 12,000, 10,000 feet. But I was coming home from work on I'm not sure, March, sometime during the week. It was about 10 o'clock at night, and I'm walking up my driveway, and I look up at the mountain, and it's blocked off. I can't see the mountain, or the outline of the mountain, and I just see these lights that are there on alongside of it, and I started yelling for my brother who lives right, my room next door to me, and I started yelling for him to come out to the driveway, and then I'm grabbing my phone. And then it was like 20 minutes later, I'm just walking into my house and going, "Hey, what's going on?" He goes, "What are you yelling about?" I go, "I don't know. I just saw this thing out here." And then, so we looked at my camera, and I got a couple of shots of this thing, but it took me 20 minutes to get up the driveway from when I took the shot. And you know what I mean? It was like 10:10 when I took the shot, and then it was 10:30 when I was talking to my brother. And one of my friends realized that about the time thing. And I didn't really realize it until after, when I talked to my friend about it. But it
Yeah.
was really trippy. And and I got this ditch. It was very big. It was huge. Mount Bell
Wow.
was really big, and it was just like hovering there, and it looked like it was. To me, in my senses, was like it was dropping some people off, or picking things up, and
Oh,
then
let me slow you down. So when you were seeing this, was this at nighttime or during the day?
no, it was at night, brother.
At
It was
night.
at night. I
So
saw the
I
outline of the thing. Yeah,
now
go on.
you said it was picking people up or dropping people
No,
off. When
no,
you say it,
that's my senses. That's what I felt like it was doing. You know what I
okay,
mean? That
yeah,
I didn't see what it was doing, but it was just
right.
hovering there. And
It was just hovering. Okay,
it's a big bowl area there on the mountain where it would look just like it, where it would
right.
sit at. But it's just kind of trippy,
Well, it's an interesting story. I mean, it's another interesting dynamic story when you're putting the puzzle together on the subject. Again, this is what disclosure is about. Like Ricardo, what you're telling us, all the people I've had as guests on the show, you're the ones bringing disclosure to the public by sharing your story. And I appreciate that so much. Have you had any other encounters
No,
visually
that's
of
been
these
in my
things?
whole life. In my whole life, that was it.
That
But
was it.
yeah, but that was pretty much of an enlightenment to me, man.
Mm. And do
You
you
know.
have any pictures? Did you get to
Yes, I
take
do.
any
But
pictures?
my friend's got them on his computer. I'm going to get them to you tomorrow night. He enhanced them and everything, so we could see it better because it was off my phone. But
Okay.
you'll see. I'll show it to you, man. It's pretty,
Yeah.
pretty intense.
Now tomorrow, and just like people, tomorrow night is a special night. It's different. Just so
Okay.
people that are new to the show, tomorrow night is our Ashtar Command Contact Show. It's going to be different than our regular show.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we come on and talk about the Ashtar Command and teach people about the Ashtar. Because I'm from the Ashtar Command. I come from another planet. I'm with the Ashtar Command, and I'm here on Mission Earth. So you're going to learn a lot about me. I've come here I'm a professional broadcaster on NPR radio in Connecticut, but I've also been a contactee since the 60s. I've seen hundreds of what people call UFOs. I call them spaceships because they weren't our government craft. And so
Right.
you'll learn a lot. I'm glad you're here on the show while watching it, and I'm glad you
Yeah.
came on the show as a guest.
Yeah, no,
You know?
you know what? That's great. I'm glad you guys are doing this just so we all stay on the same page, kind of thing. But,
Well, there's not too many people doing what I do. There's people over on YouTube and here on TikTok randomly here and there that come and go.
yeah,
But we came here and decided in 2023 to bring our radio concept into TikTok and do an actual program, which
cool.
nobody was doing. And so we've been dedicated to this program for almost 2 years now, and we are going to be dedicated until the day we have contact with our space people. So I want to thank you for being here.
When is the broadcast tomorrow about?
I broadcast at 11 o'clock. Sometimes I'm a little bit late. I was like 20 minutes late tonight, but I'm normally on at 11. And I'm also every Saturday night at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and
I think it's 9
8
Pacific.
o'clock on the West Coast. Yeah,
Okay.
8 o'clock Pacific. Yeah. So yeah, we're on. I might take a night off once in a while. Then people start messaging me saying, "Commander, you're not on." So sometimes I will take a break just to get a breather, but mostly I'm on at night. And Saturday nights is our show dedicated to our star family, the Ashtar Command.
I'll look forward to it.
All right.
Thank
Hey,
you
Ricardo,
very
we
much,
appreciate you. All right, brother.
Commander. Thank you.
Yes, you're
Thank you.
welcome. Let's see here. See, that's what I like to do. I love people's stories. And good to have everybody here. I have only allowed to live in JJ the trucker. I have only allowed to live in purgatory since in their control. JJ Trucker, I'm not sure what your story is. I'm trying to just read messages here and comments. So if you've had, again, I want to tell people what the show's about. As you can see, UFO, the word UFO. So this show is a spiritual UFO talk show. You have to be over 18 to come on the show. No kids, no drinking, no drugs, no smoking, no vaping, no paranormal discussion, no politics, no religion, no religious fanatics coming here trying to get people to convert to whatever. Not here. This is an actual talk show. All right. So now that you're now aware of that, if you have had an encounter, if you've had experiences with extraterrestrial intelligence, if you had direct contact with space beings, I would love to hear your story. And I can tell you from my perspective, all right, from all the things I've gathered, we are in a time now in 2024, only a few months away from 2025, folks. Just feel the energy. 2025 is almost right at our doorstep. And do you even realize what we're going into? Like where we're going into the next year on our planet? Does anybody even know? Let's see. Jake says, I'm kind of scared about it, but I feel that they didn't mean any harm and were interested in me. I'm excited. Kenny says, Zilla, good to see you, Zilla. And Jake, I'm trying to understand Jake's story a little bit here. I'm going to go backwards and see if there's still more information from Jake. I'm reading comments. If anyone here has had encounters and you've never been on encounters on the show with space people, I want to hear about it. I had one land about 100 yards from my house. Had one land about 100 yards from my house, saltwater. And saltwater, you have updates. I'm going to bring saltwater on because you said you have updates. Saltwater's been on my show before. And again, remember everybody, no foul language on the show whatsoever. Be conscious of that because we're on TikTok here. I want to keep the show to the highest levels. We'll bring saltwater taffy, saltwater. Actually, it's actually not taffy. It's saltwater raffy. Why did I call it taffy anyway? And we'll get to more. This is a night where we're going to do a lot of stuff here. Yes, we are going through a shift. I'll get into that with everybody tonight a little bit, and especially on Astor Command night tomorrow night.
Hey, what's going on, Commander?
Hey, it's been a while. How you doing?
Yeah, it's been a while, man. Oh, I've been good. I'm actually driving from North Carolina to Atlanta right now for work. But
okay.
You had mentioned you were saying that you were kind of tapping in that there was a UFO kind of base near my land where I was living.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, since then they've been aware. They know that I've have been noticing them. Actually, just real quick, last night, and this is the one that I see most. It looks like a star, but it just kind of glides. You know the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Who are they? Because I see them quite a bit. They just kind of glide, right over.
They're very quiet. So they're quietly gliding over your area, correct?
Correct.
Have you? So here's what you should do. Instead of me saying anything, when you have time, if you see them, I would meditate and focus on inner reflection and meditation, and telepathically ask them who they are.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. But the most serious, I'm trying to bring on my video. Anyway, the most the biggest thing that I saw, this was wild. This was the most wild night of my life. It was a couple months ago. I sat in my driveway, it's, you know, out in the country in North Carolina, and I saw one orb come out. And I've had one of my spiritual advisors tell me that there's a portal there. There's good and bad and neutral. So it's kind of like a mix of things. But I noticed, I saw very clearly an orb come out, and then it split into three, and then they were kind of dancing. You know what I mean? It was it was really wild. And then so after that, I went in my house and I was on the phone with my kids, and I looked out my window and I froze. Okay. I saw it was about 100 yards away. It was, you know, I was on no drugs, wasn't drunk, none of that.
Right.
It was about the size of, I would say, a building, just the size, but it was a saucer shape. And it had all kinds of colors and lights, and it was descending very, very slowly behind the trees. And I just froze. And my kids were kind of laughing at me, and like I wanted to get it on, you know, video, and I was just like, you know what, I think this is just kind of for me to experience. Although I do have a lot of other videos, but I felt like that was. And the military is, you know, there's Jacksonville, North Carolina, which is a, you know, military base. And they're very, very aware, because whenever I see them, I see, you know, a military jet that's not far behind. But that saucer, man, it was wild.
Wow.
It kind of looked like, you know, you've seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
From back in the day, late 70s, I think. It looked
70s,
a lot. Yeah, it looked a lot.
Welcome to
like,
Georgia.
It looked a lot like that. And that's the best I can explain how it looked. You know, huge saucer, multicolors, descending very slowly over the trees.
Wow.
And,
Interesting.
Yeah, and I no longer live there, but I'm very intrigued to, you know, go back there and, you know, kind of check it out. Because there was all kinds of stuff, man. I would, there was one time, and this is where it kind of gets, you know, stuff in the woods. I have pictures, they're translucent kind of beings. They can only be seen through the camera. And you know, I have to adjust the hue and the cut and the shadow and the all contrast and all that stuff to kind of bring them out. But you know, very, very, I mean, like undeniable. You know what I mean? Like, you know, some stuff could obviously be military, but this saucer, it was just, you know, it was unbelievable.
Wow.
So,
well, I'm glad you gave some updates about that, you know. It's always good to have people come back on and share, you know. I think it's important.
Because when I just moved there, you were telling me, like, you had kind of tapped in, you were like, you know, you were saying this is you were saying that it was some kind of base, some kind of UFO base. And I think you're spot on, man, because I saw, every other night I saw, you know, something out there. And then, like, there was one time there was this one ship that was following me, and I was like, is it following me? And I would leave the house.
Right.
And it came out in front of my car. It blinked 3 times. And floated back over to my house.
Wow.
So
in 2 miles, use the right lane to take exit 196AB toward I-520, Georgia 232.
Watching me, I don't know, just kind of observing. But I like your idea of you know, meditating and you know, asking, you know, who are you? You know, I come in love. I come in peace.
You always want to do that too, you know. It's always important to do that. Mm-hmm. So this is what you know who you're contacting. Always.
Absolutely, because there's definitely, you know, there's definitely good guys, not so good guys, and then neutral, you know.
Oh yeah.
And but I think you know, for the most part, they're neutral. They're just showing, you know, their presence. And yeah, that night they did a little show for me, man. They came out with the orb, split into three, kind of danced around,
Yeah.
and it was a beautiful night.
And what they're doing is they're giving subtle indications of here we are. You know, they want to get used to your energy and get you used to them. And eventually, if they are
In a half
positive,
mile, use the right lane to take exit 196AB toward I-520, Georgia 232.
your animation voice thing is
Oh, is it? I'm sorry. I didn't think that was going through. Let me turn that off there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually it doesn't go through, but all right, there we go. I turned it off.
No problem.
But yeah, man. Commander, it's always a pleasure. It's saw that you were live tonight, and felt intrigued to give you an update on
good.
everything. I'll have to shoot you over some pictures and some video.
Yeah, I want to see them.
I really wish I would have got that one chip, but again, I think it was kind of an experience for me. You know,
Right.
like it was.
I think so. It was supposed to be for you. Like, you have those experiences for you. That is really the reason. You know, we all have certain experiences. So I think it's always like the ones that are personal are meant for you. But you can share them, but it's just that you were supposed to be there seeing it yourself, nobody else.
Absolutely. And at the same time, I think it's important to, you know, share all of this and disclosure. And, you know, what you talk about is, you know, 2025, and it's just going to ramp up, you know, it's just going to be more and more, and until they're just, you know, everyone's going to know they're here.
Yeah, there's no way around it. People are going to definitely know what's going on here. So you're so right about what you're saying, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right.
But yeah, it was great coming on and sharing tonight, Commander.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're glad you
take
came
your
on.
advice. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna definitely take your advice and do a meditation and see if I can tap in.
I think you could. I think you will. Without a question, you know. All right, Saltwater, thank you for being here, brother. And
Thank you,
have
sir.
a safe journey. Absolutely.
It's always a pleasure.
If anything else happens, let me know.
Will do, Commander.
All right, we're going to bring Saltwater down, everybody. Thanks for being here. Let me do this here. Let me see. I'm just going to press the little button here. Let's see. There we go. All right. And that was Saltwater. You're watching Encounters with CmdrAleon. And tomorrow night is Ashtar Command Night on Encounters. That's our Ashtar Command show. So please join us tomorrow evening for that. We want to get to 100,000 likes. We're almost there. We're at 74.1. If everybody will tap the screen, you see the numbers on the top corner which says Commander. You have to tap the screen, anywhere on the screen, tap it. It'll bring the numbers up to 100,000. So we can do that. We have 272 people on here. Do the math. If everybody gets involved collectively tapping, those numbers are going to go up really, really quick. So I need everybody involved. Even if you're not being on the show to be interviewed, you can be proactive in the studio here by tapping on the screen. So in our studio, it's all over the world, and people can join us everywhere. And let's see who's going to be next. Again, you have to be over 18, no cursing, no foul language, no drinking, no smoking, no vaping, no drunks, no paranormal discussion, no religion, no politics. And again, other than that, if you are having direct encounters or visitations, is there anyone out there physically having for the first time, hey, Bonnie Pollard, is anyone out there having encounters? Is anybody out there having visitations? Don't be afraid to talk about it. People on here will listen to your story. No one's going to make fun of you. We run a really, really good show here, and we'd love to hear your stories. And my story is this. You know, I basically am here to knock, to bust the matrix. I'm here to get the whole planet shaken up. I'm here to bust the systems of limitation. And that's what we do here, you know. That's what we do here every time we're on here. We want, if you have disclosure information, if you have top secret clearance and you have information that we don't know about, we want you to come here and share that information. If you're in some level of high level clearance and you say, I've had it with the cover up within my agency regarding extraterrestrial intelligence, come on the show. Share what you know, not just Nicole. Good to see you. Good evening. Tell everybody here what you want to tell us regarding what you know regarding extraterrestrial intelligence. Thank you, Monty, but I wouldn't want to be president of any nation. The only thing I want to do is get rid of all the presidents that are in power, prime ministers, religions, all these institutions, and get them organically disappearing so that people can be free of all this stuff. You know what I mean? That's really the important thing. That's really the important thing. I'm not here to promote any earth-based institutions. They all need to fall apart. They really all need to fall apart as quickly as soon as possible. So what we're getting into now is a transference of energy. Our planet is going from where it is now to a different vibrational pattern. Now, you think the vibrations were wild this year in 2024. Just think what the vibrations are going to be in 2025 going into 2026. Next year you're not going to know what to do with yourself. I mean, if you think you were going through all these changes and all the issues that you have in your life are being brought up to the surface for one reason, because they have to be cleared out of your system. All the stuff in your consciousness that has been happening in your consciousness has to be released so that you can be free of all that. Because let's face it, our consciousness, our brain has been bombarded since we were kids with 3D belief systems. Our parents gave it to us, their parents gave it to them, and they transferred that belief system to the current history. Every decade, every child in every decade was projected with a belief system from their parents, from TV, from everything. So here's the deal. Okay, now the commander is going to start sharing some stuff with you. Here's the deal. I know people wait to see what I'm going to do. You want to hear from the commander and hear what I'm going to say. I'm going to definitely tell you. Let's get started. Where do we begin? It's energy, the energy transference of energy. So on this earth right now, there's a vibrational pattern of energy around the planet. Everybody is affected by it, every single human being. Some are affected by it in a positive way, some people in a negative way, some people are neutral. It's different for every person. Some people are like a little bit afraid of the changes, and that's normal. There's nothing wrong with that. If you have an emotional fear of change, that's a normal emotion. That's a human emotion. I completely understand it. I get it. And Nicole, I know you will. One day you will. And no rush. The way I work is when you feel comfortable, you come up. But the thing is, there's no turning back. You see, one thing I can read energy on the planet, there's no turning back now. Even if you wanted to turn back and go backwards, you can't go backwards. Nobody can. You can, who's going to go backwards? So I want to go backwards. No, what are you going to go backwards for? Where are you going to go back to? What's this backwards thing? I'm not saying people are going backwards, but I'm sure that the billions of people on the earth, there's some people, when these things start happening, they're going to wish they can go the other way and hide under their covers because they just can't understand their consciousness. Their brain does not understand the things that are happening, the changes that are going to happen. And we've got to talk about this stuff. We don't talk about it enough, I don't think. But I can tell you, as part of the mission on this planet, as a talk show host, I can tell you that there's going to be a lot of changes happening. And there's not really too many non-believers. There's just people that just don't know what's going on. There's more people that are believers now than there have been 30 years ago. We're in a much better space. But what I'm really getting into is there are people that want to run the other way because they don't want to have to face anything. They don't want to have to face all the stuff they've been taught to believe on earth by their schools, by their parents, by their religious institutions, by their political institutions. Everybody is sucked into a certain 3D system, right? Thank you, Lal, for the roses. I appreciate that. Thank you. Everybody gets sucked into, on this planet, a certain type of energy. When you are free and you can break out of that circular system, it's like Groundhog Day. Remember the movie Groundhog Day, where they keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating everything over and over again? There are people on Earth that would prefer to repeat the same cycle over and over again and not be able to move forward. But this is not Groundhog Day here. What we're dealing with is something that's more than a Groundhog Day. We're talking about galactic transformation of consciousness. So when we talk about UFOs and we talk about space beings coming from other planets that are here now, and have been here for billions of years, but now in our current human history, all these different beings are coming now to Earth. For some people, it shakes them up. Okay? Jesus God, before I let you up, what do you, Jesus God says I'm wrong. Jesus God tells me I'm wrong. Let me tell you something, Jesus God. You don't want to fool around with the commander. This could get interesting. Are you really wanting to take on the commander, Jesus God? Because let me tell you, Jesus God, I do believe in Christ, but not in a religious understanding. Did you know, Jesus God, that Jesus is a very cool dude? Did you know that Jesus is actually a space person from off planet? Did you know that? Did they teach you that in your religious school? That Jesus is a space person? Welcome to the show, Jesus God. If you stick around here, you're going to be transformed. I will bust your matrix. Oh, no, I believe in Jesus. I don't have to break free of anything. Break free of what? Break free. Let me tell you something. I've been through different religions on earth. I did it purposely to understand religion. The only way you're going to be free, brother, is to let go of your religion. Jesus God. We all have consciousness. You need to have consciousness. If you have no consciousness, then you are consciousless. That's a good bumper sticker. If you don't have any consciousness, then you're consciousless. I love a good thing here. But you know what? I'm not going to let you up because I host the show, and I will make that decision based on the energy I think and feel. I could let him up, but you know what? It's going to be a situation, and I know it will be. Okay? And I'm not promoting religion. So I'm going to, the way I will respond to this person is to let him know that Jesus is a space being. And your religion will never teach you that. Your parents will never teach you that from the Bible that they gave you. Jesus is a space being. I'll say it now. I'll say it loud and proud. And I'll tell you, when Jesus with the space people comes back to Earth, you're going to see a cool dude. And it's not going to be somebody on a cross with pins and needles. He is a space being. And you are not, you're not Jesus, brother. You could be Christ consciousness, but Jesus is his own individual being. Okay? Now, you're not Jesus, and you don't have the scars of Jesus, so now you're getting yourself in a situation that is not good to be in. All right? See, this is what happens with ego when people start thinking they're something they're not. Okay? You're not Jesus by any means necessary. Okay? You see, there are people on the earth that have egos, and that is coming from a place of ego, thinking you're something you're not. Now, when people say I'm Christ conscious, I'm a consciously Christed being of light, that is way different than saying I'm the real Jesus. I'm Jesus. You're not Jesus. I am Jesus. Wait a minute. I'm Jesus. No, I thought he was Jesus. What about that guy across the street in the coffee shop? Isn't he Jesus? I thought that Jesus just came out of a temple. What? Wait a minute. He couldn't have come out of a temple. What about that guy who was on a cross 1,000 years ago? Oh, that was 2,000 years ago, wasn't it? Wait a minute. Is anybody here Jesus? Anybody from Earth here Jesus? That's right. So here's the deal. There's a thing called Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness is one thing, but you are definitely not Jesus. You might have a profile that says Jesus God, but you're not Jesus. Now, if you say to me, I'm operating in Christ consciousness, I can understand that. But don't tell me you're Jesus, because you're not. Okay, brother? You're not Jesus. Don't even try to be. Now, if you want to be love and light, be love and light. See, I'm teaching you something here. I'm not going to let you up because I run the show. Okay? My senses are not to bring you up. But I will converse with you here, but you're not Jesus. Okay? You come into my realm on encounters, I will bust your matrix. You didn't know that. You're coming into territory where the commander is going to bust your matrix and your belief systems. Right? I don't have to do anything. You don't control anything. You don't control space. Space, God created space. You don't control anything. That's the thing you got to learn, brother. You don't control anything. You don't even control space. You're living in space, but you don't control it. You are part of space. All the planets are a part of space. All the stars, all the suns, all the different planetary systems. You are a part of a whole space, but you don't control it. You see? You have to let go of that whole control deal. You know what I mean? Thank you for the roses. You know, let's see here. And I'm glad you believe all that stuff there, Jesus God, but you are a human being with a cell phone, just like anybody else here, living in your own world of your own experience. That's all right. If you want to live in that experience, that's okay. What is he talking about? You're Michael, right? No, I am CmdrAleon. See, I don't know where this person is coming from. So, that's why I'm not letting him up, because I can sense energy, folks. You know me. I tune into everything. Yeah, he's probably, Jennifer, I think you're right. He is evolving, but my sense is not to bring him up yet. I am willing to try to help him, but I will not have him come up and argue with us. I sense that's where this would go. Dean, good to see you. A lot of good ones, let's see, but I've never met Michael before. I've only read about him in a book. Okay, so here's what you need to do. You need to throw out all the books you got from school, from religious school, and if you watch this show and listen, you'll learn a lot of things here, brother. You'll learn a lot of things here. You see, because I'm not from this planet. I come from planet Mars. I'm an Ashtar Command person. I worked in Christ consciousness. So I am human, but I'm not human. So you'll learn a lot here. I think that on some level you want to learn here. That's why you're here. Your inner spirit brought you here. Yeah, I think he's just a joker, maybe. We love everybody out there. So everything I do is with love, even if I have to bust a person's matrix belief system. I think on an inner level, this person wants to learn. And if they listen a little bit to the show, they'll learn a lot of things from different guests I have, from what I share here. Because let's face it, let me get into it here. We are going to have contact, okay? Hey, yeah, Spirit, don't apologize. It's good to have you with us. I am so amped up right now. We're going to have contact soon in the next year and a half. So all those religious people out there that have been bombarded and have been taught by their religions with a book, throw the books out the window. Those books are going to be meaningless when we have contact. You're not going to need a book. You don't need any book. Just throw them out the window. And I mean it. Throw them out the window. You know, I'm giving you some good advice. Commander's giving some good advice here tonight. We have 105,000 likes. Thank you for that. You know, I'm definitely really amped up here. You know, people need to, who don't know, who are confused, who don't know what's going on, you need to focus on cosmic consciousness right now. You need to focus on cosmic consciousness. And you know why? Because that's where you're going to be able to learn about what's going to occur. If you focus on 3D consciousness, you're not going to learn anything. You're going to keep going in a circle like Groundhog Day. You know how that movie, like I said before, Groundhog Day keeps going in circles and circles and circles. You don't want to go in circles. You know? You don't. You don't want to go in circles. You want to get out of the circle. You don't want to be stuck in a box. You want to open the box and get out there and breathe. Daryl Tommen, how do I learn? Watch this show. Watch this show, Daryl, and you'll learn a lot of stuff here. See, this is the problem. You do not own anything, nor space, and we're going to go do what we need to do. Okay. The Jesus God person is now disappeared into space. I decided it was enough. I think the person was definitely going into places whether I didn't know if he really believed what he was saying. I think he was just trying to be a person that wanted to be heard. He might believe in some of this stuff, but who knows what he believes. But we took him out. The commander did what he had to do. Don't feel sorry for the person. You know, I think he was just trying to get attention. The commander knows when to stop. I tried. You know, I give people a chance. I really do. And sometimes they really do listen. Sometimes, after a while, you know that they're not willing to listen. So send them out into space. Yeah, I sent him back into his own space. He went back into his own space. So now he can talk to himself in his own space because he owns his own space, probably in some room in a house, a condo, apartment, whatever. He's got a space. We all have a space. I have a living room. That's my space. His space could be a living room, kitchen, who knows. He does have space. He could have, but he didn't want to. The one thing is, unfortunately, I can read energy, and he was not there to learn anything. He was more interested in propping up the ego. I wanted him to come through to want to learn something, but I do what I have to do sometimes. Trust me, when I do something, I'm pretty much on the money when I do it. And I don't usually block people unless I really have to. If they're trolling, I do. But yeah, if he was quiet and listening, that would be different, but he wasn't. You know, I think I made a pretty good decision. Trust me on my decisions. They're usually pretty good. Yeah, he wanted confrontation. I knew that. And hey, so now we move on. So as I was saying, we are going to go into a different energy in 2025. Hey, Anderson, good to see you. Yes, you have been on before. Tomorrow is going to be Ashtar Command Night. Sunday night will be our regular night, but tomorrow night is strictly Ashtar Command. So tomorrow night we're not doing any interviews. My hope is to have April on tomorrow night. I know she's been going on the ship every other night. So hopefully we'll have April on tomorrow night. I don't know if she's going to be available or not, but she's been going on the ship a lot. So we'll see what happens. But on Sunday night, we can definitely bring you up, Anderson. Let's see here. And welcome everybody to our show here. Tahar Yaya Spirit. Yeah, that's true, Jennifer. That's true. Telly, Tahar Telly. You know, sometimes I think I could have been an actor in a movie. You put a hat and a mustache on me and I can change my voice and do that. I've really gotten a good voice for that with that hat and mustache. It's really kind of wild. Thank you. And Nurse, thank you for the team, Heart. I appreciate that. Karen 82. I get that mustache just gives me that right face. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, Sunday. You had another visit. Yeah, we'll do Sunday night. We'll have you on to talk about the visit. Definitely Sunday, Anderson. I'd love to hear it for sure. And we just love everybody out there. So this whole thing is all about love anyway. But I'm really, really psyched about 2025. Our big our gathering next Saturday in Connecticut. Kit Kat knows about it. We're going to be on the water on the Connecticut side in Madison, Connecticut, doing a live broadcast on the water about 8:30 p.m. in the evening. And we're going to be doing our Ashtar Command Contact C5 group gathering. Thank you, Midnight. You know, I remember the actor, he says, I could have been a contender. How's he goes, he says, I could have been a contender. He talked like, I could have been a contender. I used to watch movies when I was a kid and try to do impressions of people, the actors, you know. I actually got them down pretty good. But yeah, there's so many beautiful things that are coming our way. I think as we look at 2025, I think there's going to be intense sightings of Bonniepour. Thank you for the set star. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. I think we're going to have a lot of people, and this is the thing. People need to have their cell phones totally with them, fully charged up, and have their cameras at the ready, because there's going to be things happening. You might go on a trip into the mountains in a state park. You might be going somewhere, walking somewhere. You might be at a beach somewhere. But if you see spaceships and they start appearing, videotape them, document them, date, time, location. Document what's, hey, Rod, good to see you, brother. Document them. Jenny says, will the government tell the truth? No. The government never tells the truth. But I tell you, here on Encounters, we will tell you the truth. And as we get closer to contact, we will tell you the truth. Because the government's not going to tell you the truth. I'm playing guitar? Okay. That's great. Tara, I never seen that before. Thank you. I felt like I was playing a guitar just now. That's really kind of cool. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Jenny, Jean-Ann. Yeah, the government's not going to tell people the truth. There are people out there that are depending on the U.S. government and world governments to tell people the truth about the upcoming contacts. But the government's not going to tell you the truth. They don't really care. They don't care to tell you anything. If they were to tell you the truth, that would be like saying you're going to win the lottery and everyone's going to get a ticket. Oh, thank you for that egg. Is there an egg on my head? Did there a chicken just sit on my... Did I just have a chicken on my head just now? Wait a minute. Oh, thank you for the egg. It's a golden egg. I'm going to have to put it on the side. Thank you. That was classic. That was classic. High vibes. Thank you for the whale. The dolphin, actually. I love the dolphins. I do have a sense of humor, folks, even though I'm on a serious mission and this show is really important. I do have a good sense of humor. It's just my nature. I love people, and that's what it's like, you know. Viva EU, welcome, Viva EU. Thank you for the follow too. I got my apple cider here in New England, so I'm doing good. Yeah, my hair got longer, but tomorrow I'm getting myself a haircut. I want to get my hair cut for the show. So I'm having my hair cut tomorrow. I know it's gotten longer. It's going to be cut. I'm going to get it nice and cut. You're going to see a different looking commander tomorrow night. Hey, I'm just Elvis Presley with glasses on. What? Did I just say that? These things that they have on TikTok. Thank you for the roses. Thank you for the ice cream. I really need some. When I saw that glass thing with the head with a thank you so much for the gifts. Oh man, I love you all, I really do. Thank you so much, Jake, for all the gifts. I think Jake is going to outgift everybody here in a minute. Thank you so much. Our nurse, thank you, Lynn. Thank you for the roses. I just channeled Elvis. It's a good Friday night. Hey, Chazel. Yes, we love you too. We deserve to laugh a little bit. As serious as we get. Have you seen UFOs? Usually 290. Yes, actually, I've seen hundreds of spaceships that we call UFOs since I was a kid. So yes, I've seen 2 big spaceships in Connecticut in the 1980s. One was the size of 2 football fields. The other one, I got off the interstate highway system, and I was in Danbury, Connecticut, and I got off the highway as I had a 2-way CB radio coming home from work. I was coming home from, I think, Stamford or Westport. It was dark out. And I got off the road at a 7-Eleven off the service road in Danbury, and I looking to the north towards the Brookfield, New Milford. There was this big golden ship. It was huge, and it had hieroglyphics or writing. The ship had all kinds of weird writing on it, like a language. I don't know. It was just a real big golden ship. It was hovering, and it was spinning in the sky. It was just spinning and spinning. And I was watching the ship for about 20 minutes. I don't think I've told this story before. And I was on the 2-way CB radio next to the interstate highway trying to tell truckers and everybody who had CBs, look to the north, look to the north. There's a spaceship in the sky. There's a spaceship in the sky. And I don't know if anybody heard me, but I was sitting there in the parking lot at 7-Eleven looking diagonally straight north of the highway and saw this huge spaceship off of Route 7 in Connecticut. And I saw it. It was there. It wasn't going anywhere. It was just like right there. It was like just spinning around, This thing was like amazing. I've never seen a golden ship that big illuminating that kind of light. It was a beautiful thing I ever saw. And it looked like it had some sort of what I call writings on the craft, I can't explain it in the way one would understand it, but certainly some sort of writing. And this is in the 1980s. Now, I've talked about my other sighting in Naugatuck, Connecticut, in the Connecticut River Valley, that was 2 football fields in length coming out of a club, blues club, doing reggae dance night. This other sighting was actually in north of Danbury. I remember everything. I document everything consciously. I have remembered every experience I've ever had, and this was quite the experience. And I'll tell you, if I had a camera, I didn't have a camera, but if I had a camera, I would have taken a picture of this thing. It would have blown your mind if I was able to get it on a picture. It would have definitely blown your mind, without a question. Yeah, I don't know, But that was a whole different experience. That was when I was in my 20s, in the 1980s, And it was pretty crazy. It definitely was one of the most beautiful. And I picture the ship right now. I can picture and remember everything about it. I have really good photographic memory, and I remember every detail of that ship. The thing was so big, and it was just hovering in the sky, like just staying in one position. And it's like it was just staying there. If you were on Route 7 in Connecticut, you would have seen that thing up close going up north. That thing was just right there. You couldn't miss it. Thank you, Ricardo. You think I'm too cool for school? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Jake says, strange cryptic letters on the edge. Let's see here. Let's see. I think you're too. Okay, let's see. I read that already. So again, if we'll do some more interviews here for a minute. We're actually 1:21 in the morning. Maybe one more interview. So if you've ever had an encounter, if you're having encounters with space people, we definitely want to hear your story. Tomorrow night is Ashtar Command Night. So please join us on Saturday night at 11 p.m. for our Encounters Ashtar Command Q&A. That'll be tomorrow night, tomorrow evening. Yeah, Spirit, thank you for the... Wait a minute. There's something... Good thing I caught that egg. Yeah, Spirit, thank you for the golden egg from that chicken. I just put it over on the side of the show here. That's 2 eggs in a row. Thank you. I'm pretty good. I caught that egg as it was coming through the chicken. I mean, now I don't want to mess my hair up before I get it cut tomorrow. I don't have any egg in my hair. You know what I mean? All right, folks. Well, it is getting there to 1:30. I think we'll call it a night. We had some great interviews tonight. I want to thank you all for being here. We had a little bit of fun. And again, we'll be on tomorrow night. So many blessings to everybody. And blessings to you, Jennifer, everybody out there. Yaya Spirit. Yeah, that's right. Better in the hair, Yaya, than on my face. You're actually right. Who wants to go on the show with an egg thrown in their face when you can have it right on your head? The egg could be landed by the chicken, and I can catch it. Very good. That's a good point. Bonnie, everybody, I hope you all sleep well. Have a great night. It's been another great show. Encounters is on normally at 11 o'clock. Sometimes I'm a little bit late, but I'm usually here. And sometimes I take a night off just to relax, because sometimes the commander needs that too. All right, everybody, take care. Peace, love, and light, and we'll catch you again. Take care. Rod, everybody, take care, brothers and sisters.